Dumelang guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be cooking. No DIYs, no power tools except for the pots and the stove. Okay, so today we'll be making a very, I think, in my opinion, it's a sophisticated dessert. However, it is very simple, and honestly, my sister has made it before. My mom's the one that made it epic. Like when she made it for us, and we were shocked. Like she was interested in cooking at some point in time. She still is, but then she was into trying new things and everything like that. And it wasn't so, far back. So I will be making this dessert because honestly, we have all the ingredients in the house. We have strawberries, we have whipping cream, it's very simple things that we have in our house. However, I don't expect you guys to have these things, because if you're not, if you're into other things and you don't have these ingredients, it's not a train smash. It's not a lot of ingredients. It's got a couple of basic ingredients. So we will be making our very own panna cotta. I can't wait. So that's what we're going to be doing today, and we're going to get into it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, here are the ingredients we are going to need in order to make this panna cotta. First, we're going to need some strawberries. For the sauce that we're going to put on top of the panna cotta, we're going to make a strawberry panna cotta. That doesn't mean the panna cotta itself is going to be strawberry. It's just going to have some strawberry sauce on top. We're going to need some sugar. Usually we use some white sugar. However, they don't have that, so I just grabbed whatever I could find, which was this brown sugar that I found in my mom's pantry. We're going to use some gelatin powder. We're going to use vanilla extract, some whipping cream, milk. I love full cream. You guys can choose what kind of milk it is. I don't know how it works with almond milk and all of that, but then just use full cream. And then some water. That's what we're going to need, folks. Yeah, let's get into it. We're going to first have our one. This is generous because obviously, basically this little pack that you get in the box, you're just gonna need 1 sachet or 1 tablespoon of gelatin powder, and then we're going to add 4 tablespoons of cold water to the gelatin powder, and we're going to leave it for about 10 minutes. That's what we're going to do, just mixing it up a little, and we're going to leave it here for about 10 minutes, and then we will get to it. We're gonna bring the stove to a heat of low to medium, and we're gonna put our saucepan right there, and then we are going to add 400 milliliters of our whipping cream. We're gonna bring all of this mixture to a simmer, not a boil, a simmer. Okay, then we're going to add 400 milliliters of milk. And then I'm going to add 2 cups, I don't know how to explain this, 1/3 of a cup, but we're going to add it twice. That's the sugar portion. Why not just add 2/3? It's still the same thing if you want to do it that way, and I don't know why I made it complicated. Okay, I'm having a hard time pouring this into my cup. Okay, we're getting it, and there we go. Just gonna rip it off a bit because I don't want to make it too sweet because my dad won't be able to eat it. Just going to mix the cream and the milk with the sugar, that whole mixture that we added. Just mixing it up a bit, or whisking it, shall I say. And look at all of this mess. and we're gonna let it come to a simmer. Remember, a simmer, don't let it boil. Okay. Okay, so now that you've brought it to a simmer and the sugar has dissolved, basically that's all we're trying to achieve, to dissolve the sugar. We're going to remove it off of the heat, and then we are going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract to the mixture, and then we're going to let it cool off for a bit after that. Just mix it up a bit. Then we're going to let it cool off for about, let me see. I'm gonna let it cool off for I'm gonna make it 10 minutes. It's currently 12:26. I'm just gonna set a timer, and then we're just gonna wait for about 10 minutes before we add the gelatin to the mixture. We don't want to add it when it's still too hot. So we're just gonna go right ahead and set our timer. Where's my timer? For 10 minutes, and then we are gonna wait. Okay, 10 minutes are up. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to add the gelatin. Yes, it looks like that. To the mixture. So that's what I'm going to do. Oops. Don't throw it in like I'm doing. Okay. Get that in. My hands are clean, by the way, so don't stress. I'm just going to whisk that in, using obviously the heat of this mixture to melt down the gelatin, and we're just gonna let it melt. Just giving it a nice whisk. And the gelatin has melted. And now we're just going to pour this mixture into our silicone cups. I am going to pour in the mixture. I'm not gonna take it too high. This smells so good. This really does smell good. And usually, like I said, we use white sugar. I realized that using the brown sugar, okay, I'm just gonna add this to the others because it'll be a waste adding it to one of the silicone cups. You can use a ramekin cup, by the way. And as I forget to finish off the previous sentence that I started, using the brown sugar kind of makes this panna cotta look a bit brown or a bit caramelized, shall I say, instead of just looking that bright white it usually does. So I filled out 8, which is good because it should create 8 servings. And if you guys want just 4 servings, you can just go and divide all the measurements that I put in, divided by 2. I guess, I don't know. Meds must be knocking my mind out. And then these are a bit too hot. I'm just gonna let them cool off a bit, and then I'm gonna add them to refrigerator. You're supposed to put them in the refrigerator. However, we're gonna eat lunch in no time soon, and I want this to be the dessert to the lunch, so I'm gonna put mine in the freezer. However, I'll be keeping an eye on them so that they don't just doesn't freeze up. It just basically gets it to where I want it to be. And from here, while these go into my freezer, my parents' freezer, that's what I mean to say. I am going to start off with my strawberry sauce. That's what we're going to be doing. We are just going to start off by rinsing our strawberries. So now that I've rinsed off my strawberries, I am going to chop them. Oh, I'm not gonna let this go to waste, guys. I'm gonna eat it. So sweet. As I add them to my pot. This is going to be more like a strawberry syrup kind of vibe or situation, I guess. So that's what we are going for. You can chop them however you like, but as science says, if you increase the surface area of the strawberries, obviously the cooking period is going to take a shorter time. This is what we have. So when I was putting the panna cotta in the freezer, I bumped into this, which is a berry medley. It's frozen berries basically, and I think I'm going to add a few of them to the mix. This is what it looks like, and I'm just gonna add a few of them in, you know, that way my sauce is not gonna be all the way red. It's gonna have a variation of, you know, purple and all of that. It's gonna be a great color, trust me. And I'm gonna put it on the stove and turn the heat up. Turn on the heat. Basically, I haven't added water yet. The ice on these frozen berries is just melting in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add sugar. You're supposed to add 1/3 of sugar, but I'm gonna add a little bit because I'm considering the fact that my dad doesn't eat a lot of sweet stuff. He's not allowed to, he's not supposed to, so I want to make this in a way that he can also eat it, you know, and wouldn't worry much if he does eat it, because he does love this dessert, that's for sure. And then once you've added your sugar, you're supposed to add a little bit of water. I would say as far as maybe 2 tablespoons of water, but however there's ice here that's releasing water, so I'm just gonna go with a tad bit of water, and that's how much water there is in there. This is actually even too much, but I am not concerned, because as this comes to a boil or simmer, whichever one, the water is going to start evaporating, and what's going to be left behind is the strawberries and the sugar that I put in here, and the water is not going to come to any much of an effect if I add too much of it. And actually we're also trying to get the strawberries to cook, so do not stress yourself when it comes to that. And now it's starting to stick to the bottom. We are done cooking this. Just going to turn off the stove, and I'm gonna move myself all the way to the other side of the kitchen where I can use the blender. This is sweet, but not too sweet. Most of the sugar is from the strawberries themselves, so I'm gonna actually berries are so delicious, guys, so delicious. Okay, focus now, focus. We are going to blend this mixture. So is it throwing things at me? Should I get my... Nah. This is a beautiful purple. Forget maroon. Forget the color I mentioned before. I didn't know what I was talking about. It's like this beautiful purple. And it's coming from all those mixed berries, frozen berries that I added to this mixture instead of just letting it be strawberries. You can, however, if you like, put strawberries and have it just be strawberries. It was just going to be red if you did that. And if you're okay with that, that is fine. If that's what you have in your fridge, that is okay. And so we're just sieving this through, and as you can see, there's a smooth texture coming through there. This is completely optional, guys. If you don't want to do this process, you can skip it. Honestly, it tastes delicious with the strawberry pits and whatnots you want to call it, and it tastes delicious when it's smooth. However, I prefer it not smooth. I don't know how my family prefers it. My mom usually makes it smooth, so that's what I'm doing. I got a feeling I'm gonna make 2 portions of this. I am going to have the non-smooth texture and the smooth texture. Oh, let me just sieve everything. Let me just do that.